It's a sight you only expect to see in a movie. Soldiers on American streets, Humvees parked on street corners where there should be coffee shops. The line between a peacekeeper and an occupier is starting to disappear. The order has been given. The troops are on the ground. And a chilling question is being whispered across the country. Is this it? Is this the beginning of martial law in America? Okay, let's break down what's actually happening right now. In the last 24 hours, the White House gave the order. National Guard troops are being deployed in major U.S. cities, especially Portland and Chicago. The official reason? To stop protests and restore, quote, law and order. And let's be clear, this isn't a governor's decision. This order came from the very top, from the president. And that difference is everything. On the ground, things are tense. We're seeing armed soldiers facing off against American citizens. A federal judge just stepped in and temporarily blocked California's National Guard from being sent to Oregon. This is setting up a huge legal battle between the states and the federal government. So does all of this mean it's martial law? To answer that, we need to know what the term actually means. So what is martial law really? It's not just about seeing soldiers. Real martial law is when the military takes over completely. Civilian law gets suspended. The normal rules are gone. Your constitutional rights can be put on pause. The military becomes the police. They become the judge. And they become the jury. By that definition, what's happening now is not full martial law. Not yet. Civilian governments are still running. The courts are still open. But, and this is important, this is the step before that line is crossed. The president is able to do this because of a very old and very powerful law. It's called the Insurrection Act of 1807. Basically, it gives the president the power to use the military against American citizens right here at home. It's supposed to be for an actual rebellion. Using it to police protests is a dangerous escalation. Critics are saying this is a test to see how far the government can push its power. They worry that once this line is crossed, it becomes much easier to cross it again. And the world is watching, especially Canada. Prime Minister Mark Carney is heading to Washington for critical trade talks. Now he's flying into a country where the government is using its military against its own people. For Canada, an unstable America is the biggest threat there is. It threatens their economy and their own national security. This sends a shockwave through the international community, and it all happens inside a pressure cooker. The U.S. government is in a partial shutdown. Critical economic news, like the jobs report, is being delayed. Nobody knows what the economy is really doing. The White House is even threatening mass layoffs of government workers. Think about that. The government can't handle its basic job of passing a budget, but it is using its most extreme power on the streets. It feels like everything is happening at once. So where does this go from here? There are two possible paths. The first path is de-escalation. The courts push back, the troops go home, and this becomes a dark chapter in history, a crisis that was avoided. The second path is much darker. The protests get bigger, there's more conflict, and the White House uses that conflict as an excuse to declare an even bigger emergency. That is the path that leads to true martial law. Let me say it again. We are not there today, but we are seeing a clear and deliberate step in that direction. The question is no longer if it could happen here. The question now is, will anyone be able to stop it? The answer will define the future of America. This situation is changing by the minute. The mainstream media often misses the real story. Here, we dig deeper. We connect the dots. If you want to understand what's really going on without the hype, then make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss an update. Thank you for watching.